Good morning and welcome to Member Focus Monday. I'm Christina Schaefer, Director of Social Media for HAR, and I'm joined by a very familiar face to this program, one of our favorite guests to have come on time and time again, who always shares new and valuable information with us, and that is HAR's Director of Video Services, Claudia Hernandez. Welcome back, Claudia.
Hi, Christina. Thanks for having me again.
Thank you so much for carving out some time for us this morning. So much has changed in the last few years with video, but especially in this last year alone with AI being integrated into so much that we do. So we thought it was a great time for you to come back and share with us what's new and how you can help our members with it. Before we get into all of that, though, tell us a little bit about yourself for anybody who's not heard from you before, who you are and what you do for HAR.
Well, thanks again for having me today. I know over the past few years we've had a ton of new members, so yeah, we haven't met all of the new members. So my name is Claudia Hernandez. I'm the Director of Video Services for HAR, and basically I run the video department at HAR. We now have 4 studios across the greater Houston area, as you saw in that preview. We have one at each of our HAR branch locations, and the initial studio we had was at Central. We provide video services for our members, whether that's promo videos, any kind of announcement videos you'd like to make, and we also provide video services for the association as a whole. So any messaging you see, any promotions for programs, any event recaps, tutorials, any of that stuff, that's done by myself or someone on my team.
Very good. So even the countdown video we saw this morning before we got started, that's you guys.
Exactly. You see timers in your classes, all those things, that's all us.
Very good. And thank you for all of that work you do for our members and, of course, for our association. There's so many different things that we could discuss when it comes to video and the importance of video marketing for realtors. But I would like to hear what you're seeing successful already for realtors. So what are some of the most successful ways that you're currently seeing realtors utilize video in their marketing?
I think honestly, all video is really great. It's hard to gauge success, right? What is success? The video leads to leads. The video leads to a sale. The video leads to more views. So it's really more about where you feel that success is. To me, what I would think a realtor would want is success means that your videos or your online presence allows your clients to get to know you before they even meet you, right? So the success that I see is that people are basically promoting themselves and their business online, and they're getting this audience to get to know them. To me, that's a form of success, because then you meet them, you shake their hand for the first time in person, and they're like, I feel like I know you. So you've succeeded in your task in getting videos out to get the audience to know who you are.
Yeah, very good. So if you're not seeing that immediate lead, that immediate closing of a transaction, that don't worry, right? Because it's all
Absolutely.
coming. It's a
It's
part
all
of being
going to take
known.
time, right? You're not going to get buff after your first day at the gym, so you just got to keep going and trust the process.
That's a good way to put it. Very good. So what about some things that maybe you're seeing in other industries, video trends that maybe not many realtors are utilizing, or that you've seen utilized here locally?
Well, I think has figured out that video is important. So obviously it's being used in every single industry. One thing I don't see realtors use very much is live. I see them do short form. I see them doing podcasts. I see them doing all types of pre-recorded content. I don't see them doing a ton of live, but some still do it. And one of the great ways to go live is to, go live at an open house, go live at an event. And as we know by this program, that going live just gets so much more engagement, and the algorithm prefers the live. I mean, when you're on your phone and one of your Instagram profiles that you follow goes live, you get a notification right away that they're going live. It makes you want to go click on it, whereas maybe you wouldn't have clicked on it if they weren't going live. So I think that's one thing that we can see realtors do more of to get more of those eyeballs on them.
And just from the social media platform side, if you don't mind me adding, the algorithm on every platform that offers live, it really promotes those live videos over any other type of content. And you mentioned it allows people to get to know you you're unedited. They're going to get to know you if you're on live video.
Exactly. Which is what I've had some realtors say, that they prefer live, because it's almost like you pull off the band-aid, you do it, and no questions asked. You can't go back and edit it and worry about it. Try stories, because that's 24 hours and it'll be gone. Some people may not see it, but it's just, that's one of the, like you said, that just gets most people to see and engage with you. So definitely one of those things that don't see all realtors trying just yet.
So you mentioned different types of video podcasts, which would be like a longer form, short form, like stories. Where should realtors really be focusing? Long form video, short form video, or does it vary by person or company?
I think at this point it's mainly preference. And, yes, it does depend on the type of video that you're creating. If you're going to create a 15-second video, it doesn't need to be a fully produced in studio, video that's just about some quick message you want to get across. You can do that on your phone. You can do that, make it quick and make it a short form type of video, but it really depends on the topic. Just like this one, this is an interview style, so it makes more sense to make it long form, keep it in the horizontal family, if you will. You can always reuse that content though, and that's what's so great about the topic we're talking about today, that it really doesn't matter what form you're doing it in. You can reuse it in so many ways and reformat it, and we'll talk about tools that'll help you do that.
Okay, very good. Now, a common question that I hear, especially because we're going to be talking about AI and there's so many things that can create video for you. Do you recommend that realtors be visible in their videos, or is voiceover or an AI image sufficient?
I know you and I get this question a lot, because we both teach classes for HAR, and it's I know that people are afraid of being on camera. That is probably the number one reason people don't do more video. That has to be it, because a lot of it is free, so the money can't be the issue. But yes, you can start with voiceover, but you're selling yourself, you're selling your business, your services. You have to get your face on camera. You have to get people to get to know you. So I can't imagine running a business where you're the brand and they never see your face. So I mean, billboards, business cards, that your face is all over those. So you've got to get on camera and have your face in those videos. Voiceover is absolutely great to help you get comfortable, to help you start getting over the sound of your own voice, and how to help you practice to be on camera. But eventually you should roll over into getting on camera so people can see your face.
So you mentioned practicing. Obviously, that's a great way to kind of get over some of those hesitations. How exactly should they practice?
So I recommend in my classes, usually my Braving the Video Marketing World is that, trying to get people to get used to being on camera, getting comfortable, and giving tips on how to do that. So obviously practicing, I recommend practicing with family members at first, and just recording random videos just in your home about anything, any topic whatsoever. It doesn't have to be real estate. It could be about the weather. It could be about what you're doing that day, what you're cooking, a recipe, an event that you're going to go to. And practice using your phone. One of the big issues is, looking at the camera lens and not speaking clearly, not getting prepared ahead of time. So try and talk about any topic that you're comfortable with. Stick to what you know. You know real estate, so talk about real estate. I'm not going to sit here and talk to you about interest rates and mortgages and things, because I know it, but I don't know it well enough to feel like I'm an expert. So you guys are the expert in this, so stick with what you know. You don't have to have a script, but definitely have some bullet points. Think of something you're going to talk about. Try and send private messages to people, practicing that way and getting used to the camera and sending them privately, so only one person sees them, not everybody on your social media platforms. And then slowly move on to, like I said, stories and those shorts that go away pretty quick. Well, shorts on YouTube don't go away, but stories that go away, so you don't feel like it's there forever. And then moving on to longer videos. So really, it's all about practice and getting comfortable with just being yourself. Just be yourself. Don't try and be somebody else, because trying to keep that up forever is going to be really hard.
Right.
So yes, practicing is the number one key to getting comfortable.
Those are some great suggestions. If you have questions for Claudia, go ahead and type those into the comments and we'll get to as many as we can. So far, I'm just seeing a bunch of people saying good morning to you. And Lisa Brown White said, great information. So she's already loving what you have to share. So let's talk about some AI. Let's get into that topic because AI was the buzzword for 2023. I think when we think back on last year, all we heard was AI, right? But there's some practical uses of AI in video creation and editing. So, in what ways can realtors be utilizing AI to help them as they're creating or editing videos?
Gosh, in every way, right? Video editing can be done through AI platforms. There's apps that help you edit your videos quicker. There's apps that help you reuse your content, like we mentioned earlier. If you have old videos that you've created before all this AI stuff became popular, take those old videos and reuse them with these apps. They add captions for you, which saves a lot of time. Years ago, that was never something that you could just it would just reproduce those captions for you, make them pretty for you, add little emojis for you. That all took time, right? So all of this saves you time. Captions, lighting, smoothing your face, changing your voice. You want to be yourself, but everybody wants a little help in that department. um, all those different things that AI can help you with, coming up with scripts, coming up with topics. Just there's so many great benefits to it that I think people are forgetting. They're afraid of just the word AI, but if you use it correctly, it can be so, so helpful.
Oh, that's a really good point. Going back to some of that evergreen content that you've created before and kind of repurposing it now that you have these new tools available to you. A question came in from Carolyn. She asked, "How long does a live video stay visible?"
As long as you wanted to. If you go back to our HAR Facebook page, you'll see Christina's lives from years ago when she started Member Focus Monday, when it was called Member Matrix
Matrix
Monday.
Mondays.
Right, yeah. So those are still on there. It's all of these platforms it's up to you. You can take them down if you want. We have hundreds and thousands of videos on our YouTube channel that date way back from when we started the channel. I can go in and delete those if I want, but they're still there. But you want them to stay there. You want to show them that you've been consistent and that you've been doing this a while. So as long as you want, and definitely keep them on there for a long time.
And it's a good thing too that it stays there, because like for example, right now we have about 130 people watching us, but after this is over, that number is going to increase 20-fold because people will watch the live, but they watch the replay as well. Right. So that's a really good thing that happens. Another question that came in that I wanted to address. Bernice said, "So do you need the apps to add captions to videos?" Now, this is kind of a tricky one because, for example, right now, Facebook, we have the option turned on for it to add captions. So even right now, as people are watching, they're seeing captions live. But how does that work after the fact, Claudia?
Right. So there's several apps that you can use to add those captions. Yes, you can use the apps that you're editing with to add captions. Some of them have great options for them. They read and understand your words very perfectly. Others, not so much. You have to go in and edit them. But all the platforms that you're uploading to have these options as well. I mean, I know Instagram, like you said, Facebook, YouTube has them. So if you don't feel like doing that yourself just yet, or doing it on a separate app, all the platforms offer that as an option as well.
Okay, excellent. All right, just taking a look here. Tina is asking about your favorite apps, and I want to ask you that too. But before we do, you mentioned one thing, and that was scripts. So do you recommend that realtors utilize AI to write scripts?
I do. I recommend that people use apps like ChatGPT. We all know that's out there. We all know how advanced it's gotten from the very first, version of the app to now. It's just it's blown up, and it's just so much better because we've been using it. So that's how AI works, right? The more information we give it, the more it learns. use these platforms to help you with your script writing, but please do not use exactly what they say. I beg of you. I've had people come in with scripts that I can just tell by reading them the first couple sentences that they copied and pasted, and they did not proofread them, they didn't make them their own. These apps are so great to help you with these topics, but please make them your own because that's important. You want it to be in your voice. The way I say something and the way Christina says something will be completely different, but we'll be saying the same thing. We each have our own voice, our own vocabulary, and you want it to be in yours. So use them, but proofread them, take things out, add things in. It works as a really great base, but definitely not a copy and paste.
Okay, very good. Um, let's see. Okay, so people, and then we got another question here from Andrea. They're asking about the apps that you're using. So let us know, Claudia. Let us know what specific AI tools do you recommend for realtors to be using, and are they
So,
apps? Are they web based? Kind of help
yeah.
us out with that a little bit.
There's a few. There's a few that I like, and there's a few that I know other people have used. And I do recommend going to one of my classes to learn more about the apps because that's when we're going to go and dive in a little deeper and get more hands-on. So
Mm-hmm.
I know you have some slides for me that will
Mm-hmm.
show kind of the just so people know the logos that they recognize the app logo when they want to go and download. Um,
Sure.
so the first one is CapCut. It's all-in-one creative platform powered by AI. So when I first started using this app, it was just an app, and then they turned it into the desktop form. And this, to me, this is an all-around wonderful editing tool. It does green screen, it does captions, it does voice correction. I had someone come into the studio a few weeks ago that had a really hoarse voice from being sick, and I used this program to help their voice sound better. So it's different options like that. They add the captions in there for you. You could go in and edit them as well. It's so easy to use both on the app and on the desktop. It is a paid platform. I believe it's $75 a year for that one, but that's one of the ones that is a full encompassing editing app. So I highly recommend CapCut if you're interested in getting started with that.
Okay, and we did have a couple people comment about CapCut as well. Christine said she uses CapCut with ChatGPT, and Carla says CapCut she uses that for voiceover. Somebody was asking what can you use for voiceover. So, do you recommend CapCut, or are there others you use
Absolutely,
for?
yeah. CapCut is a great option for voiceover for sure. They have a lot of options for voices that aren't yours, and then there are also options to kind of modify your voice. So it's great for voice and to fix voices, like I mentioned.
Yeah, very good. We might need to do that for my. I'm a little hoarse today, if anybody can't tell. So we're gonna have to CapCut this video, I think.
And then another one is captions. Make contact without eye contact. I showed this. I showed these apps in my Engage presentation. But again, taking my class is a way to learn more and deep dive into using them. But captions is another one that's been around a while that just helps with captions. Started with just captions, and then they moved into more AI options. It's a little freaky, but one of them is helping you make contact with the camera lens. So, we're sitting here and I could be looking at my camera lens or I could be looking at myself on my screen down here. But if I'm recording this video in captions and then I render it, it'll make my eyes look like they're looking at the lens after the fact. So that's really helpful when you have a lot of stuff to say, you have a long script you have to get through, and you just really can't get past the eye lens situation. So
Mm-hmm.
they can help you with that. It's a little weird, but it looks pretty good. And then the other one that I have to show, I believe Opus is one of them that I really like. This is one that I mentioned earlier about taking old content or taking long content and using it to trim that content. What's great about Opus is I used it taking a link from an old video of ours, and I just took the YouTube link. I didn't have to have the video file. Let's say you don't have that. Popped it into their program. It took about 10-15 minutes where they emailed me back and said, "We've picked out your shorts for you." So it
Wow.
makes these short form videos. The algorithm, the AI system understands hey, this sounds like a full statement.
Mm.
Let's cut this out. This sounds really important. Let's just cut this one portion. It can understand the cadence of your voice where you know that you started a statement and you ended one, and it trimmed them perfectly. Not only that, but it gave me different styles to reproduce the video. It gave me options to add titling, captions, to add handles, social media handles. So that was a really great one that also could also go in, and it shows me in text which short they created, and I can unhighlight which area I want them to take out, and just use this one short. It was awesome. It's a great tool for reproducing longer content.
That's wonderful. So if you have a 20-minute video, you don't have to labor over what's the best section. You can utilize Opus and that'll break
Exactly.
it down for you. That's wonderful.
Mhm. And I think the last one was I may have a couple more. Submagic. This is one that is generates captions for you, but they're fun captions. You know, you see those on Instagram, and you're like, gosh, they took so much time to do that and add in the emojis, and you know,
Mm.
I'm talking about a house, and the little house pops up. Submagic does that for you. You just upload the video. They generate the captions, and they generate the emojis for you as well. So, you know, we know that we're all visual. We all see these things visually. We're looking at the captions. Someone might stop at your video if you have little emojis and little drawings that make it a little more interactive and fun. So that's what Submagic does for you.
And the statistics prove that if the captions are there, it's going to catch people's eye. They're going to look. And if you're putting
And
emojis, like you said, that's even more
even
exciting.
more so, yeah. But a smile. I'm talking about breakfast, and like an egg shows up. You know, so I'm gonna keep watching.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple comments that just came in I wanted to share. Antonio said, you ladies bring such great information. Thank you. We had a couple questions about your class that we'll get to in just a little bit, but I wanted to share so I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. So Sophia Hafine said, first time hearing about CapCut. So that's a great tip for everybody there. And I see that there were some realtors using it already too. So great recommendations for CapCut.
And you know, a
Now,
lot of
go
people
ahead.
I hear in my classes, I downloaded it and I just never used it, or I paid for it and I never used it. So just make some time to play around with these things. You're not going to get good at it if you don't use it at all. So and they'll eventually overwhelm themselves. So it's you know, you watch this live and you're like, I'm gonna go download all these apps she talked about and I'm gonna do them all. Just start small and just work your way from there.
That's a great tip. Some people worry about risks associated with AI. Can we talk about that a little bit in relation to video editing and creation? Are there any risks that our members should be aware of?
Right. And that I think there's risk in everything we do. There's risk in us using this program right here live. There's risk in using anything you didn't create yourself and you don't know the back end of it, and giving out information that might be personal. So I do think some of the fear with AI isn't really focused on risk. It's more of like they're afraid AI is going to take their jobs. And I think that's where, oh well, it's scary. It's new. I don't understand it. None of us like things that are new and we don't understand. But as we said today, as long as you start using it and to your advantage and learn about it, research the products. You know, don't just download any app. Make sure that it's something that is, you know, has been tested, has been used, has a history. CapCut has been around a little while, so try that one. Captions has been around a little while. Try that one too. So just do a little research about which apps you're adding to your phone across any platform aside from AI. Obviously, don't give out your clients' information. Don't give out your own personal information. Don't fill up a platform, whether it's any of these AIs or any other ones, with all this personal information. You know, keep it to what you need it to do, and just keep it as safe as possible. But research, getting advice from people who have used the apps and know them, and that should be helpful to mitigate those fears.
Excellent. So you mentioned the studios that HAR has, 4 different studios. Tell us how HAR TV can help our members with their video marketing.
Okay, so HARTV has had a central studio for years. I know we had somebody in the building the other day that was like, "I've never seen this or knew about it." So we have realtors that are learning about it every single day, even though I've been working at HAR for over 13 years. So, or it's been around, and it was there before I got there. So,
Hidden in plain sight.
yes, it is. But what we do have now is we have a studio at each of our branch locations, and the reason we did that was to allow the realtors that are across the greater Houston area to use the video services everywhere. You know, we would always hear, well, you guys are just so far, I need to make a day of it, I need to make sure I plan my day so that I'm there all day. So what we do is we provide video services for our members, whether that is in the form of a long form video or a short form video.
Mm-hmm.
We do that at each of our locations. We offer the full package. It's turnkey. You go in, you come in with your script, you record your videos, we edit them for you, we add the music, the backgrounds, the graphics, the stock images, the graphics, the your contact information, we turn them into videos for you, we deliver them to you. So we provide those services because we know that creating videos for some may seem like, gosh, that's just one more thing I have to do. I'm so busy taking care of my clients. I don't want to worry about this type of stuff. So come in and have us help you do this, you know, and that way it makes your life easier. We do have it. It is an a la carte service from HAR, so it's a cost. And we do offer services. We do offer discounts when you create more than one video, which is what several members come in and do. Just to, like I said, get them out of the way. You don't have to come in every week. Just get a ton of them done so you have them ready to go.
Very good. And we can share a link to the HAR TV video website on in the comments here for everybody to see.
We just updated that website. One of my team members, Christian, he went in and added new video samples. You ask about, there's an FAQ about, do you have scripts? Yes, we do. They're right here. You can download the scripts. You can look at each sample. He answered all the questions that we've gotten over the years. There's links to videos to watch, to view, get a little mini tour of the branch locations if you're curious about what those look like. There's tutorials on how to download your videos and upload and things like that. So definitely visit that link to learn more, and you can book right from there.
Very good. So you mentioned the classes. People are asking about your classes. So what classes are coming up that you recommend, and when is your next class and where?
Right. So my next class is Braving the Video Marketing World next Tuesday, February 6th, I believe. And that is from 9 to noon. That is a Zoom class. So that is getting started with using video. That's more for people that really haven't used video, want to get used to the process and learn tips on just how to get started. Then I do have a presentation I'm giving in Montgomery County. If you're in Montgomery County next Wednesday at the area networking meeting, you can see me there. And then next Thursday is our very first AI innovative video creation class. That is an in-person class. And as of last night, I haven't looked this morning, but there were only 3 spots left. So the reason it is an in-person class is because it's hands-on. It's going into in depth on these apps that we mentioned. And we're also going to use the studio, which is just down the hallway from the training room. So that's why that one is in class. It's also a little more expensive than the other classes for that reason, because you're getting the whole thing, right there in the HR Central building. We also have a webinar coming up this week, I believe, it's Kyle Christie. And it's a real estate predictions for 2024. So go to the education site, sign up for all these classes, including that webinar, and hopefully you'll learn something from these.
Very good. And people were asking about whether it was in person or on Zoom. So thank you for clarifying that. Andrea just asked, would it be possible maybe in the future to have it on Zoom? She's in New Braunfels, for example.
Right. And it just depends on how the class goes. Like I said, this is a new class. If we see that it is a benefit to have it on Zoom, maybe cut out the studio part, do some homework before the class so that everybody is ready and it's easy to go on Zoom. That might be something that we consider later on.
Okay, excellent. Another question here that we had from Flor. She asked, what advice can you give me when creating reels and adding music in regards to copyright?
Right. So HARTV, if you do a video with HRTV, we have music that we are allowed to use in our videos. So that part you don't have to worry about with us. But if you're using any other platforms, a lot of them have music that is, it's free to use within the platforms. I know InShot has their own music. They just ask that you give credit. If you go on to Instagram to create a video, there's trending music, there's trending sounds. So there's definitely a lot of ways to use copyright-free videos, royalty-free videos. YouTube has a lot of them too. They
Mhm.
have channels full of music that is royalty-free. Literally just Google or search on YouTube royalty-free music, and they give you instructions on how to use it as far as like you can just credit this one artist or credit this
Mhm.
channel and things like that. So there's a lot of ways, but mostly most of these apps have music built into them.
Very good. Um, just wanted to mention Hope left a comment that the February 8th class is sold out. So this just in, it is sold out. But you do have dates later down the road that they can look
Yeah,
at.
that class is being taught every month, so it's also in March. So sign up for the March. It is the innovative video creation with the power of using AI. So go ahead and check that one out. Again, if you're not ready for AI, the Braving the Video Marketing World is on Zoom, and that one is also taught every month.
So you mentioned our YouTube channel earlier. I wanted to give you a moment to tell everyone about that YouTube channel because there's a lot of great stuff there. So tell them about what they can find on HER's YouTube channel, how to find it, and how they can get updates when you post new videos.
Right. So if you haven't visited the HRTV YouTube channel, go ahead and go to YouTube, search HRTV. You'll see our HRTV logo on there, and check out all the different playlists. There's playlists for tutorials. There's a wonderful playlist that I'm wanting to that I will be updating this year. That is for video production for realtors. It's something that we started during COVID to help realtors learn how to use, their phones and different things at home to edit their videos. We want to move that on to creating tutorials using these apps
Mm-hmm.
that are getting, they're getting popular and people are wanting to learn more about AI. So you'll also find these Member Focus Monday recordings. You'll find our weekly activity snapshot, our monthly market update, our monthly activity snapshot. You'll find testimonials, event recaps, tutorials, all these promos for events that are coming up. So if you haven't yet, go to that channel, subscribe. If you subscribe, you can choose to get notifications anytime a new video is published or uploaded. So it helps you stay in the know of what's going on at HER.
Very good. Um, so, just a comment that came in from Jim. He said he registered. He just registered and he was asking about getting an email reminder. Yes, our education department does send out reminders so that you don't forget to attend your class.
Yay.
Lana was asking, and again, this is maybe a suggestion for the future. Can you record the class and can we pay if we didn't attend in person? So again, just looking for the alternate options.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think, for I don't know how long we've been hearing people talk about how they want in-person classes. So come to the in-person class.
All
We're there.
right.
It's not every month. So
Very
let's go.
good. Yeah, just a couple more comments. Carmen just said HR is definitely a great resource and specific here with video. Absolutely a wonderful resource for our members. Val just made a comment. Thank you, Christina and Claudia. Always relevant information and have a great week, everyone. So thank you for that comment there, Val. I don't see any other questions coming in at this time, and we are really right at our time with you. So, Claudia, again, thank you for sharing everything you did today. I think it was a really good overview, and of course, they can take classes with you or go see you speaking at an event somewhere. But is there anything else that you want to share with our members today?
Yeah, there's just keep trying to learn, whether it's a class, whether it's going to an area networking meeting. These area networking meetings, I think people forget they're there.
Mm-hmm.
They're in the whole greater Houston area. They have great speakers at all of them. I'm speaking. I know you've spoken at some of them to
Mm-hmm.
give some social media content. So visit those. Those are really great options if you can't make it to a conference. The next option is also a conference. Engage. You and I both spoke at Engage, and we got a lot of great feedback on our presentations. So visit those conferences to get more knowledge and to learn more about what's going on. So just keep learning. Add the time to your calendar, just like you do a meeting, to sit down and learn these apps and get started on making video.
Very good. Well, thank you so much for all of your suggestions today. Stephanie just commented, thank you for all the info and support. We love that. That is it for this Member Focus Monday. But again, Claudia, thank you so much for your time today.
All right. Thank you, Christina.
All right. Have a good week, everyone. Bye-bye.